Alright, so here we got Bulkhead in his alt mode, which is that of a armored personnel carrier or armored transport of some kind. As far as differences go between this Leader class version and the Voyager class version, basically it's these missiles here and this little gun turret there. These weren't present on the Voyager class version, and I don't quite remember if these were actually on the show, the Transformers animated cartoon show, if they actually had these on his alt mode there. So the Voyager class version might actually be a little more show accurate compared to this one. But I like these. I think they add to the vehicle. I think they kind of fill them out a little bit better, and it makes them look like more of an actual armored personnel carrier. The turret here doesn't rotate, but the little gun barrels here do rotate up and down like so. And the missiles do not fire, they're not spring loaded or shoot out at all, but they do pop off. They just kind of clip on there like that. So yeah, you can take those off if you want. As far as gimmicks go, he does have a light and sound gimmick, which is activated by pressing in this little Autobot symbol here like so. So when you do that, he'll get the flashing lights and plays a siren. If you hold it down, it'll basically play continuously until you let go of it. And there is the little battery compartment for the light and sound gimmick right here. And that cover's held in with just this one little screw there. So you can take that off if you want to pop it off and replace the batteries, or just take them out so they don't corrode in there. It does roll fairly well. And if you notice in here, the little like hubcaps or whatever it is, they don't actually rotate, so they're fixed mounted and the tires just kind of rotate around it. Detail on this thing is okay. It's kind of average. It's not the greatest. It's a big green military vehicle, so there's not a lot of paint apps to it and stuff, but it's fairly well done. I like it. I think it looks good. It's sturdy. Doesn't feel flimsy at all. As far as accessories go, he did come with this headmaster unit here. And what this does is it'll fit over his robot head in when he's in his robot mode, and it'll change some of his light and sound gimmicks. And we'll take a look at that more when we get into the actual robot mode. So with that being said, that'll pretty much do it with the look here at his alt mode. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do to get started with the transformation of this guy is take this little turret here on the top and just pull it back. And when you do that, it's going to activate another little sound gimmick, and that's going to be his transformation sound. So just go ahead and take that and pull it back like so. Oh, it didn't do it. There you go. Actually, it's kind of, you got to press it in there, but usually when you pull it back, it should do it. I don't think I had it in all the way. But yeah, so it'll play that transformation sound typically when you do pull that back. I just didn't have mine all the way in there. And you can just go ahead and split this apart too, like that. And that's going to reveal his head there. The next thing you're going to want to do is do his legs. And his legs here are on the underside here. And his feet are pegged in here to some little small posts. So just go ahead and kind of pop them out like so, and you can see those little posts right here, these two right here. And when you swing his whole legs forward, this little arm or post here is going to pop forward. It's like spring loaded, so just kind of leave that there. And what you're going to do then is fold in these two front tires like so, and you're going to pop this back to where it snaps onto this post here. There's a little hole right there, and that's going to peg in there, and that's going to lock in his waist and hips like that. And just kind of adjust his legs here, get those lined up straight, and you can see there's his legs for his robot mode, and you can see his chest and torso is basically just the front end of the vehicle there. Next thing you want to do is you got to get his arms out, and his arms are here in this whole rear portion of the vehicle. So to get those out, what you need to do is lift this up first, and you're going to want to take these wheels here in the rear, and they're going to rotate in and snap onto those same posts that his feet were on earlier. So just kind of rotate those in, lock them into place, get those out of the way like that. Let's kind of get up in here. And then you can take this whole bottom piece here, and you should be able to separate it. Actually, first what you need to do is remove these panels here. These actually rotate up like that, so just go ahead and rotate those up, and that'll free up this bottom portion here to bend down like that. So you can see there's his arms up in there. So the next thing to do is to loosen his arms or free him from this upper canopy or roof of the vehicle here, and they just kind of are held in with some little posts. You can see them right here and here, and they just pop up in there. There's some little holes there for them. So just kind of loosen those up, and then just kind of rotate these and kind of swing his arms forward like so. Just kind of get him out of the way there. Now on the shoulder joint here, you'll see this little post here. It's going to go in this hole here, but first what you have to do is pivot his whole chest here, this upper part of his chest, up a little bit. It raises up a little bit so that this hole will line up with this post and it'll snap into place. And my figure here, this part's actually very tight. I usually have a lot of problem getting it out. Hopefully I got it where it's not totally snapped in there. So let's see if I can get this guy out on the first try. Let's see. Oops, let's move that back. And it's starting to come loose there. You gotta kind of get your fingers under there if you can. There we go. So yeah, now you can see how that raised up and it created a little gap in there. So that'll allow this to line up, and you just snap that into place like so. And do the same on the other side here. And you got his arms there. And then the next thing you could do is just take these little missile panels here with the missiles on them. Let's line that up a little bit better. Oop. There. And you just rotate those missiles so that they're facing forward, like so. Same on this side. Just take these and you're going to rotate them around. So just grip these and just rotate it like that. So now he's got his missiles facing forward. So you can see he's starting to come together here. And basically what you want to do next is just fold these, actually leave those in place. And this whole assembly here with the rear wheels and everything, this is on this little like post here, and it will slide up in this little track. So you just kind of lift this up and slide this whole part up like that, and then just bend it back down. It's going to become like a little backpack for him. And the next part would be to take this upper top of the vehicle and just split it, rotate those, and then this whole part's going to bend down. If you notice, there's a little post right here, and that's going to just peg in there. So let's just kind of do that and just rotate these up, rotate that up, and now you can take these little side panels and just kind of bend them back down so they're not sticking up, and there you go. It kind of forms like this little backpack there. Now the other thing you can do here, just kind of pan up just a little bit, is you can separate these cannons, or the little turret there, and you can hide them underneath these little panels here. You got to kind of line them up a little bit, and they'll fit underneath there. So I like to do that, just kind of hide them underneath there like so, and you got his two little panels that come forward like he has on the show. And so with that, you basically have him there, Bulkhead, in his robot mode. And let's kind of just pan down there so you can see him there. There he is in his robot mode. And let's go ahead and bring him forward a little bit, and let's take a look at the detail of him here. Again, I think they did a good job with this guy. I think his robot mode's good. I think both of his modes are good, actually. Pretty show accurate. I like his face sculpt here. I don't think it has any light piping in there in the eyes. Actually, no, it does. There's a little thing back here. Oh, no, it doesn't. I thought it had some light piping there, but it actually doesn't. The shadow there looked like it was a clear piece of plastic. But he does have the same sound gimmick, or the same button that activates the sound gimmick, but it plays different sounds now in his robot mode. And he's got 3 little expressions that he'll say. So he'll light up and his mouth will kind of move here and his head will kind of rotate a bit. So let's do it here, the first one.
Sorry, my bad.
So he's saying, sorry, my bad.
Time for the big guns.
And he says, time for the big guns.
You can do it, buddy.
And he says, you can do it, buddy. And those lights will blink for a little bit. Now, as we were talking about earlier, with the Headmaster unit here, accessory that this came with, you can take this and snap it into place here, and when that's locked in, you can hear it changes the voice to that of the Headmaster. And if you hit this, he says total ownage. So yeah, he'll change the voice and the light up gimmick also when you have this attached. As far as articulation goes on this guy, pretty good range of movement and articulation. Obviously there's no waist movement here because it's basically the front of the vehicle and it's just basically a big brick more or less there. But the legs do rotate here around the hips and they can go up and down or pivot like that. They're all ratcheted. These can rotate here. There's some knee movement. The feet can kind of rotate because of the, or bend because of the transformation. The arms here at the shoulder can rotate around 360 and pivot up and down much like the legs. And you can rotate there at the upper shoulder, bend at the elbow. And the head can't really rotate because it's tied in with the little mechanism here that's activated when you hit the button, so that doesn't really rotate, which is a bit of a shame. He does have another little sort of gimmick or play feature here, and that's on this hand. He has this little buzzsaw on here, and there's a little like button or trigger here, and if you just kind of push that forward, keep doing that, it'll make it rotate around. So that's kind of a cool little feature. And then on his other arm here, he's got his little like pincher claws, and if you do that, it makes them open and close. So similar to the other arm, but he only has the one buzzsaw. And again, the missiles can come off. They don't fire. Let's push him back here. As far as a quick little size comparison, let's bring in another leader class figure that I got. Let's bring in here leader class Ultra Magnus. So you can kind of get a sense there of the scale between him and another leader class figure. So he's a little shorter than Ultra Magnus, and I think Ultra Magnus is probably maybe the tallest, if not one of the tallest leader class figures. Maybe leader class Megatron's a little bit taller. But yeah, that's a little quick little size comparison there. My closing thoughts on this guy: I think it's a really nice figure. I think they did a really good job with his robot mode. It looks a lot more show accurate than the shorter, more squat version of the Voyager class Bulkhead. I think the alt mode's really good. It's got some extra features. He's got pretty cool little gimmicks and play features here with the buzzsaw, and it has this head here, which will also fit on the other leader class figures, but it won't make them change their sound effects. At least I don't believe it does. So yeah, I'd say pick this guy up. I think this is probably the best version of Animated Bulkhead. So yeah, that's my review of Transformers Animated Leader Class Bulkhead.